What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DX Gamer Show. My name is OperationDx, and today I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to make your very own custom textures in Kerbal Space Program. So we start off our modding adventure in the KSP main directory, and we need to make our way over to the parts folder, and we need to pick something to edit. Today we're going to be editing a fuel tank, so we're going to go ahead and make a copy of that folder, because I want to show you this in a non-destructive manner. So we're going to basically rename this folder to fuel tank-A or whatever, and then so if you want to have this and the vanilla part in the game, you're going to have to edit the CFG file as well. So what you're going to want to do is go in here, go to the top, and just add an A to the back of the file, and that pretty much will just signify that this is the part that has the custom texture on it. Of course, you can add anything you like. I just pick A just to show an example. For this next part, you're going to need a hex editor. So in this example, I'm using Ultra Edit, and what we need to do is open the model000.mbm file, and that's your texture. And basically, we need to wipe out this header. You see the top where it says .ksp ... You need to knock that out. And then we need to save this as a .raw file so that we can open it up with Photoshop. So the next part is a little bit tricky, and this is where you'll probably run into your most trouble. So you need to guess what the file size of the texture is, how many channels are in that texture, and there's some things. So basically how it works is, this texture is a 4MB texture, so I already know it's a 1024, it has 2 channels in it, and it's 16-bit. So how it works is each texture, it could be either 64 by 64, 128 by 128, and 512 by 512, or 1024 by 1024. So then you basically need to guess how many channels are in it. Usually there are 2, sometimes there are 3, sometimes there are 5. The file won't open properly unless you guess these parameters properly. Now in Photoshop, there's a guess button once you think you got it, and as long as your bit header is 4 bytes, you're good to go, and the texture is going to open properly. We've already got the correct values in here, so we're just going to go ahead and open it. A lot of the textures in KSP are 512 by 512, 2 channels, 16 bits, and they're typically about a megabyte. So the next thing we need to do is we need to shift this into basically something that the game can read in PNG format. So we need to change it to grayscale, found under the mode tab in Photoshop, and then we need to change it to an RGB. After you get done doing that, you need to flip the texture vertical. So now we're almost ready to edit the textures. What we need to do now is save it as a PNG, and then we're ready to go ahead and make our changes to the texture map. So if you haven't noticed by now, this is the texture map for the half-sized tank that's like half the size of the orange tank. But anyways, I'm going to show you my terrible Photoshop skills as I make some basic edits to this texture map, just kind of give you guys an example of what you might do. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this kind of a red. I'm just going to do like an overlay color on this thing because I didn't change the color on the box that I was dragging. So another thing I like to do is I like to maintain the integrity of the original texture, especially for the bumps, because it kind of looks better. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of make some transparency on that red color or whatever. I think it makes it look a lot better when you do this kind of thing, and you don't want to just bury the original texture maps unless you do your own custom thing. In that case, you're probably going to want to edit the bump map file as well, which is the other one included. So yeah, here we are, just doing some very, very basic things. And this is essentially how I did all the textures for my Pulsar XLI plane. I basically came in here and just did a bunch of custom things, added some cool, caution symbols and stuff on some of the parts, and it ended up turning out pretty cool, I think. So, just some very, very basic things you can do. But yeah, I'm sure you guys will come up with some extremely creative textures, and I'd love to see them. So maybe you can hit me in the comments and point me in the direction if you guys have actually made anything pretty cool, because I'm definitely interested to see what you may have done. So once you're done, basically just save the file as model000.png, or just overwrite the file that you created in the original. And then now we need to do one more edit to make the game to be able to read the texture map we just created. And you need to go into the model.mu file with a hex editor and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the file. and find where it says model.000.mbm and change it to PNG. Now, there are two files in there. Model000.mbm, which is the texture map we just edited, and model001, which is the bump map for the texture. Once you're done editing, you no longer need to keep the RAW file or the original MBM file. You can actually delete those. Unless you edit the 001 file, you want to keep it as an MBM and just don't delete that. But here is the in-game result of what we just did, and that is pretty much how simple it is. It's not all that difficult to edit some textures, and I'm sure you guys will probably have some fun with this. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.